Hey, GH peeps, what's happening? It's your girl, Twerry Babes, coming at you with the late night review for Hump Day. It's Hump Day, guys. It is Wednesday, February the 21st, 2024. Hope you guys had a good Wednesday. I had a fantastic Wednesday. We are kicking through this work week, guys. It's tomorrow's Thursday. Can y'all believe that already? I was like, wait a second. Not only are we at the almost at the end of this month, but we at the almost at the end of the work week. Whew. But anywho, guys, how was GHing for you? Any highs? Any lows? Any like Ava getting real comfortable in that chair? The Miss Corinthos chair is what I'm talking about. She getting real comfortable in that Mrs. Corinthos chair. I'm just saying. And Lucy finding out about not really finding out, because I don't even think she really knew. I think she had an inkling that something was going on between Brooklyn and Maxie. And I wish Brooklyn would have just played her to the left and been like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Because anytime you involve Lucy into the plan, it's bound to fail. It's bound to fail. And this just might get us my wish, and that's for Maxie to leave leave Deception and going back over to Crimson, especially since Tracy keeps trying to heave-ho her out. And ooh, and then we got Miss Wu back, boo-boo. It's always good to see Miss Selena. She was looking clean as ever, and I just loved her shade towards Ava. I love Ava, but I love the shade just as much. What else? I can't think of any other highlights, but I'm sure I'm gonna talk about them as we go through the day's story. But as usual, guys, please leave your highlights and comments in the comment section. I love you guys' comments. Love hearing what your highlights for today's show. And if you haven't hit the subscription button and you've been following me for some time, hit that subscription button, peeps. And if you like the content and you're feeling what's going on, hit that like button. That really helps get my video out there in the soapy algorithm. But anywho, let's talk about it, guys, because we have some things to talk about first. Okay? And we're going to start this off at the Deception. We're there with Maxie and Brooklyn, and they are very, very, very happy. The first edition with Deception and Crimson is going off the chain. Sales are up. People are hitting the links and the clickety clicks, and they're making it happen. And Maxie thanks Brooklyn, but at the same time, Maxie's seeing that Brooklyn's getting really vested into Deception, and she's still wondering if, at the end of all this, is she going to go ahead and hand over the reins to Maxie? And she's like, yeah, of course I am. I got you. This is what this is all for. And that was a good question, guys, because I'm like, as Brooklyn gets more vested into Deception, is she really going to want to walk away from it completely? Hint, hint, we can still get Maxie as publisher for Crimson. Would be really nice. But moving along. Lucy comes in and she's questioning Maxie's loyalty. Oh my gosh. Lucy's just and she's like, why is she hanging out with the village rat? Because she's talking about Brooklyn. And Brooklyn, right before Brooklyn goes off on her, Maxie jumps in and says, well, actually we were here celebrating and super excited about our ad in the Crimson magazine and how well it's doing. And then that's when Lucy's like, oh yeah, it is doing really well. She's just being petty. Lucy's just petty, okay? She can't even be happy for her Crimson Deception coming back. And everybody's happy, and they're talking about how exciting the ad's going, except for Tracy, because Tracy can't get a date, so she wants to go pee on everybody's parade. Tracy says that they've been deceived, and someone is going to be held accountable for the layouts being changed. And Maxie lets her know that actually Carly did call me and Brooklyn and told us about what was going on about the ad space, and we got it and we approved it, and we got additional half ad on another whole entire page of free advertisement. And this is what Tracy gets out of this. Tracy says it wasn't what was agreed, and it could have been, and we could have squeezed out more. She then throws shade at Maxie, talking about, and maybe you're just being too trustworthy to Carly. And that's when Sasha tries to step in, but Sasha's been shot down because she's like, you need to look at this actually before make a judgment. But Tracy was mad because she didn't have a date, so she just wanted to pee on everybody. And this was very highly unprofessional of Tracy, by the way, taking her inside stuff to work and lashing out on other people. Maybe this is why she's not too much involved with ELQ anymore. But I'm going to go back to the notes. Sasha tries to save the day, but that don't work either. And Tracy tells Maxie since she loves Carly so much, she can work for her and sell off her shares of deception. First of all, she can keep her shares of deception and go work at Crimson and become publisher. She don't need you, Tracy Lynn. You had to use your granddaughter to get in. I'm sorry, Tracy Angelica. You had to use your granddaughter to even get into that company to get the evidence. So Maxie don't have to take this crap, guys. I'm looking at Maxie like, girl, I would have been like, oh, okay, I got you. Because we all know Carly ain't going to be at that Crimson much longer. She getting tired of that crap already. Especially with Nina going full burner mode. She like, I'm just trying to heal and I got time for these people. So she probably needs to go ahead and get this to Maxie, because Maxie do not need to be taking Tracy's crap along with Lucy's. Ugh. Them two can have deception. I'm just saying. Now, wouldn't that be funny? Everybody ends up bailing. Well, Sasha, of course, she's the face of deception, so she's going to be there. But Maxie and Brooklyn end up bailing, leaving Tracy and Lucy to hold the bag together. Because ain't nobody going to work with they bitter old butts. But anyway, Brooklyn tells Tracy that there is no deception without Maxie, and that the campaign is actually doing very well. And Tracy says a couple of clicks and likes doesn't mean sales. And Maxie and Brooklyn tell Tracy, actually, that's exactly what it means. And that's when Lucy heads out, because she ain't trying to be involved in the whole entire mess of what's going on with Tracy. And Brooklyn asks everybody, can she borrow Maxie's office space? And that was when Brooklyn like, what is going on with you? What is going on? And because Tracy's like, good, now we can fix this problem and solve this crisis. And she says there is no crisis. Brooklyn's like, there is no crisis, except for maybe you not having a date and you want to piss on everybody. Because that's what Brooklyn eventually gets from her granny, is that granny is lonely, especially since Luke's been gone. And she's been just kind of just, running around and being a little pissy ass. I love me some Tracy, don't get me wrong. But all this because you can't get a date to the wedding? So anyway, Brooklyn figures out that it's Gregory that she's like, afraid to ask. And she's like, Tracy Angelica Quartermain afraid? What? And I'm like, yeah, girl, why didn't you should have been said something? Why you tiptoeing around the tulips? Tracy, what's wrong with you? Gregory done got you too soft. Okay. And we all see how that ended up for her anyway. Anywho, Brooklyn encourages her to go out there and, ask Gregory out to be your +1, girl. Stop being right here pissing on people. We're going to move on over to Charlie's pub. And we got the girls. They finally together. Josh and Trina are finally together. Can't say that, nothing good came out of it. I'm sorry. But anyway, Josh is comforting Trina, and Trina's telling her, like she feels like she's walking through the fog, and that the world has lost meaning and everything important has lost value. And I'm like, that's called depression. That's called depression. And sweetie, you might need to actually talk to somebody, like a grief counselor, somebody to help you get, know how to take the steps on how to move past this, because it's going to take a while, and you're going to have resilient guilt, like the guilt she was having about having too much fun and thinking she's losing or missing pieces of Spencer and stuff like that. But she's going through depression. All those were big signs of depression. Grief counselor might not be a bad thing. They got the money. Ain't like them parents is cheap. I mean, parents is broke. But anywho, Josh brings up when Trina tells her that, life has lost all meaning, that, you still got your art, and you got your family, and you got your friends. And Trina, she kept it so real. She was like, y'all okay. But this is not the same, boo-boo. Y'all okay, but this is not the same. And of course she said, I love y'all. But what she meant was, y'all okay, but no, this is not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. Yeah, that's all great and everything, but I can't see past that right now. I can't see past losing my man. I'm glad they're allowing her to grieve and not try to jump into dating some guy like instantly and just move it past like Spencer wasn't there. It took them a long time to finally get to the point of where they were at, and for her to lose him like that, it's just it's real sad. I mean, we all know the boy ain't dead, but still, you know what I'm saying? If they would have made Trina move on past and just act like nonchalant about it, and people would have been complaining, and it wouldn't have made true to the story. But it was good that I did enjoy seeing Josh and Trina back together and talking. And Josh tells her that she understands and that she's felt somewhat before with Oscar. And she knows that Trina will get through this. And Trina's like, girl, how you know? She said, because of you. And because I said so. BF. Ow! Because they're going to be there to have her and have her back and support her. But I do think maybe some grief counseling wouldn't be a bad thing. Somebody just for her to talk to. Kind of just get her feelings out so she's not keeping all of this bottled in. And then they get, of course, into the discussion of Dex, and Josh tells her, well, I can't tell you why Dex is gone, but that has nothing to do with our friendship. And I kind of laughed to myself when she said that, because it brought me back to The Sopranos. I don't know if y'all ever watched The Sopranos, when his daughter and they were all hanging out, and one of the girls was talking around an outsider, and she's like, what are you doing? Don't be talking around her. She's an outsider. And I was like, oh. I don't know if y'all watch The Sopranos, but that brought me back to that part. I cannot think of her name, but it was Tony's daughter, and they were and she was with another mob daughter, and they had an outsider, and the mob daughter was talking too much, and she was like, "What are you doing? Don't be talking about the family's business in front of people." You know what I'm saying? So Josh, as much as she does not like Sonny, and she just hates him so much, stands by the family code. Somewhat better than some people in the family, actually. And she ain't telling even her best friend about, what's going on with Dex, because she understands the family code. She might be hating people, but she knows the position. And she's playing, and you know what I'm saying? She knows her position. And she ain't going to be telling her homegirl what's going on. But then her homegirl puts it in her head to track the guards that have their phone numbers traced. I'm like, oh God. And she's like, oh, Spinelli can help me with that. I'm like, oh no, Josh. And some part of me almost wants this to go really bad, so maybe she can learn to think and not be just being led by her heart or other parts. Because I just feel like right now she's just all heart and no brain. You know what I'm saying? Just all heart and no brain. And for her age and for the period that she's playing, it makes sense. I'm not judging her for being all heart and no brain, but I almost want her to learn, like, okay, yeah, I might be all heart and all brain, but I almost got me and him killed, or I almost, he almost something. I want her to learn from doing this kind of stupid stuff. Hopefully. We don't know. Her mama didn't learn for a while either, but we'll see. I think we're done with that story. If I missed anything, guys, y'all let me know. But I don't think that's going to be any good. So we're back. We're still at Charlie's. We're still at Charlie's. And we got Felicia and Spinelli. And Felicia thanks Spinelli for stepping up to help Maxie. And the financial advisor says Maxie's back almost on her back almost on the way back to the good green, and that maybe it's time to put an end to this little deception thing they've been doing. And Spinelli don't want to go. He don't want to go. In fact, I think he was drinking at the time when he was talking to her. But he don't want to go, and he starts making excuses for not moving out, talking about him bonding with the kids, playing these whatever they were talking about he's playing, and that she was surprised by it. And then Cody comes in and he's like, oh yeah, I overheard what was going on, and Spinelli, why don't you just tell Felicia the truth? And I'm looking at both of them buffoons, and I'm like, so Felicia, you are PI, you don't see something's amiss with this? you ain't sniffing? Because even when Spinelli was spitting out all these excuses to her, she was like, maybe this is, you sure, you don't want to leave? You just got any other reasons? She look at him like, huh? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So when Cody comes out the blue, I just was looking like, come on now, Felicia. You're a PI. I hope you know that what's going on with these two. Because it was so written all over both of their faces. I mean, they couldn't hide that for nothing. And I want to say that Felicia still doesn't trust the DNA test, but she's going to leave it alone until Max gets home. Because Felicia, she was pretty on it with her PI stuff. She, what I'm saying? I mean, she was pretty on it. She used to find out some things. So I'm hoping her other eyes like, what the hell's going on? You like my daughter, don't you? And she'll help Spinelli, because she like, Spinelli's good for her daughter. So I would feel like if they would tell Felicia what's going on, even though she already got her nose, like, what? I smell something. She would be, a little bit more helpful with that situation. But we'll, keep going. So Cody tells Felicia, when Spinelli doesn't say anything, Cody tells Felicia about how Spinelli's been bonding with the kids, and how him abruptly leaving could really mess with the kids, with their new schedules and having him around. And she's like, well, you got a point there. I guess we could wean him out of the door. And I'm you still gotta go though. You ain't gonna be shacking up with my baby. Which we can wean you out. And that's when Lucy, crazy ball head self, comes in there and rushes Felicia out to question her about her daughter. I'm like, oh my goodness. Anyway, and when that happens, Spinelli finally confesses that he has real feelings for Maximisa. And I was like, like we didn't know that. And he knows that, unfortunately, there's nothing that he wants to do about it, because he doesn't want to jeopardize their friendship. And Spinelli tells Cody that, because Cody's holding up a karaoke sign, and she's like, it's funny, I wooed Maxie over karaoke, my friend. And he was like, acquaintance. I'm like, oh, the bros are bonding. So what does Cody do? Cody calls Sasha and says, hey, get Maxie to the Charlie Pub for karaoke. Don't take no for an answer. So these two are playing Cupid times 1,000, and we all know it's just getting them two closer together. But I'm all for the love. I'm for the love and in the fun times. I just hope we get some craziness in intertwining. But I'm thinking we is. I'm thinking there's gonna be some stuff going on. So then we're gonna mosey on over into the Invader. And we got Gregory and Alexis, and they're discussing the ad sales and revenues and how this is going to, most likely satisfy upper management. And that's when Nina comes in with her red roses, dropping hell everywhere she goes. Red dress and red roses, the little devil, dropping hell on her footsteps. And she's like, me? Satisfied? Never. And I'm like, oh, God, somebody get the Ferncliff doctor. I think they need to tweak Nina's medicines. And Nina comes in and she says that she's never satisfied and suggests a gossip column to up the revenue. Which, of course, Alexis is like, when Valentine, I took over. I ain't doing no trashy rag magazine. I don't want it. Alexis would like to not have the invader turned into a gossip rag or a tabloid. And Gregory, oddly enough, agrees. And I thought that was a little strange because I recall a couple of scenes ago when Gregory was talking about the Olivia Jerome and how the invader had turned from a trashy tabloid to a reputable paper, and for him to say, well, maybe a little gossip will get the sugar going so they can eat the meat of what we're trying to sell. And yes, I do get that. I do get that. It's just odd that he would be the one that would be agreeing to it when he was the one who was really against it being trashy and tabloidy. He even said that about the Olivia Jerome. And guys, check the last one when they were discussing the article. He said something about it, and when he first came on to work for her, and he was congratulating Alexis, he had said something about her turning over the invader from a trashy tabloid to more of more thoughtful, newsworthy stuff. And several other people had said the same thing. So this is going to be interesting, especially since Nina is only going to be using it to trash talk on the people she hates. And I'm just saying to myself, she's going to end up having a lot of people hate her. So she's going to be really spreading everybody's gossip, her and Valentine. I see them being the town pariahs. And they're going to be hating and throwing dirt and shit on everybody. And I'm for it. I'm for it, guys. She could even come from my girl Carly, because Carly might just end up, putting her on the meat hook. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm for it, though. I'm for it. But Gregory and his all of a sudden, yeah, I think it makes good sense. And like I said, it does make good sense. Give them a little sugar so they can eat the true meat. It don't make sense that he says it, but guys, we all know GH changes the people around so that they can push the narrative of the subject. I just wish they wouldn't pretend like we stupid when they do it, or we don't have memories, because that's kind of, shitty. But anywho, while Gregory's there, he says, well, he hopes that this doesn't, him siding with Nina doesn't ruin his question. And he ends up asking Alexis, can he take her to Brooklyn's wedding? And this is me. Why? You just said you didn't want anything serious with Alexis. Why wouldn't you just escort Tracy? That right there threw me off, and that was another thing that I think, the writers want to make it a triangle with a dead guy. So we're gonna have Alexis, Tracy, and Gregory triangle, but he's not going to make it. So what are they gonna fight over? I just think this is so stupid. But anyway, and just when he's asking Alexis about it, Alexis is checking her calendar, and of course Tracy walks in talking about, your I forgot, your attendant said that I would find you in here. He's like, I don't have an attendant. And she tells him that she has something really important to tell him, and he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I have to ask him. He's like, oh, of course. And as they're about to head off so they can talk, that's when Alexis looks up and says, oh yeah, I got you. I can go with you for the we can go, I'm your +1. And she's like, and Tracy's like, +1 to what? And she's like, oh, Gregory invited me to the wedding as his +1. Tracy's like, oh, that's great. And Gregory's like, oh, so we were still want to talk? She says, no, I was just trying to confirm seatings or whatever she said. And she left and stood by the door mad at herself, because you should have said something a long time ago, Tracy Angelica. Now you're going to have to watch him walking in with Alexis. And I'm still like, what is this? What kind of sick, twisted triangle is this? The only way this is going to be juicy is if they find a way to save this man. Because right now, this man falling apart. I don't know what they're going to be scrapping. I ain't trying to make fun of the eel. But y'all tell me what y'all think. This just doesn't make no sense. And this is the only way this will work, unless they plan on keeping Gregory alive. But anyway, we're going to move on over to the Crimsons. Because we got Drew coming in and not being able to read the damn room. He up there happy about how good the ad is. And Carly is sitting back, and you can see it in her face. You can see it in her face. And he's like, yeah, I'm just so happy for you, babe. Why don't you want to set up? Oh, but as soon as you walked in the room, you didn't see her face. As soon as you opened the door and started talking, your speech about how happy you was, you didn't see her face. So you were like, hey, baby. In fact, and then he even says, I should have known that you'd be sad about the Morgan situation. She's like, no, it's okay. Yeah, he should have. Yes, he should have been aware. He was around that time. Come on. Yes, Drew was around that time. Let me think. Yes, he was, because he was trying to find out who was the person behind planning the bomb. Yes, he was. Because was there a Jason? I can't remember if it was Jason or not. Because I was just watching that yesterday. I think Jason was on. I can't remember. I don't know. I can't remember. No, Drew was Jason. Drew was Jason. And they thought he was Jason. And he was out trying to figure out who planted the bomb. And I'm like, but you still got those memories, Drew. You didn't think that hearing about Olivia would kind of bites for her, and you were rocking around here talking about your PSD from, Victor in the prison. But I'm going to stop because I don't like Drew, so maybe I'm just doing too much. So Carly looks heartbroken, and she thought she would have some relief knowing that that Ding Ding was finally dead, but she does not. And she thought this door was closed, but it is not. And she should be able to bounce back from this, but she is not. And Drew lets her know that there is no way to bounce back when it comes to losing your child. He suggests that she takes the day off, and she's like, no, I can't. I can't do that to my crew. They deserve some recognition. They've helped me out. They taught me the ropes. They helped me get they helped me get this magazine out, and I'm not going to do that to them. I'm not going to bail on them because I can't, I'm having this problem. But she's hurting. She's hurting because, it does. This woman was responsible for unaliving Morgan, and it would bring back memories of her because of him, because it's her. You know what I'm saying? They're tied together, and of course, a person dying sometimes doesn't always feel the pain because you can't get back your loved one. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it when Morgan went. But I was mad at everybody. I was mad at Ava for messing with his drugs. I was mad at him for being a little hothead. I was mad at just Sonny and all this. Everything was just so crazy. And Morgan always was kind of a high-strung, hot mess in the first place. But I don't know. They really should have got rings on that kid a long time ago. But yeah, so Carly's hurting. She hurting because that just brought back all the memories that she tried to shut down of her son. And now she's reliving it all over again. And I felt her. I felt that. And you know what happens while she's hurting? You know who shows up to bring hell, to be snarky? Her eminences, Nina. Nina Cheryl shows up, full hater mode, comes to gloat, talking about she's just checking to see if the repairs are up to your high standards. And I'm like, go away! Go away, you crazy person! Go away, you monster! Go away! My gosh! Another person that obviously... And I don't even think Nina could read the room. I don't think Nina cares to read the room. Because she just keeps on going. Because she tells Carly about Drew trying to sabotage her from starting her dream of starting her own magazine. But she is resilient. And she adapts. And her ex-boyfriend bought her The Invader. And I'm so everybody talking about Drew getting the crimson for Carly. Well, the same thing happened to the heiress. The heiress's ex-boyfriend, bought her The Invader. So I'm so tired of everybody saying, and if before y'all say, well, she didn't need a Valentine to get her The Invader. Obviously she did. Obviously the heiress did. She needed him to get it because she didn't do it. So yeah, while Carly might not have the money, Nina didn't have the pull to get the magazine going for herself. Okay, let me stop being petty. My ears are ringing. Y'all talking about me already. Get off of Nina. Get off of Nina. And then she thanks Drew. Iro. She mentions using the paper to expose, and she mentions using the paper. She's basically going to use the paper to expose people, and she tells Drew to his face. And Carly is not happy because Drew's like, "Can you believe that woman?" And Carly says, "What I can't believe is you egging her on. You keep putting fire in the kitchen. You setting the house on fire with us inside." Carly's more mad about the fact of him keep messing with her. She's tired of it, and she's tired of it. She wants Nina out of her life. I don't blame her. And Drew is, and this is him antagonizing her, just going to keep it going. And she tells him, we know what Nina is. We know, so why are you making it worse? I just want to be free. I told you I just want to do this magazine, just me and you. This is why I see how Carly's going to get out of Crimson. She's going to be like, I think Maxie should take over. Because Drew's not. He's just going to keep doing this. And once that stuff starts throwing into the invader, Carly's it's not going to go well for nobody. Not going to go well for nobody. And she's done with the tit for tat. We're going to move along. Because we see the demise of Carly and Drew coming up. And we're going to go ahead on over to the Sonny's penthouse. And we got Ava and Sonny. And Ava has been avoiding Sonny, because of Olivia. And because of the history. The bad memories. And Ava brings up the fact that her and her sister wasn't close. And that she had actually held her hostage. And that she's actually grateful that she's gone. And Sonny tells Ava that Olivia's shooter is connected to the people that are coming after him. And Ava says, well, the only good deed they did was taking out Olivia. But where does this leave us? Because Ava's like, I can leave. I mean, Avery can stay here, but I can go. So he's like, no, that ain't going to work. You got to stay right here with me. Is that so? She got to stay there with you. But I guess because Ava is an old mob boss, even though she's not active, and the person that's trying to set up Sonny was trying to set up Ava with the guns and everything. I thought that was Nicholas, and it wasn't even him. Oh, they've really neutered Nicholas, but that's another story. Sorry. So where we at? Where we at? Ava says that the good dad was there. Sonny doesn't want to think. Oh, yeah. She's like, okay, so she's still talking about it. Where does this leave us? How long can we sustain this living situation together? Until y'all knock the boots. Then he'll probably let you go. Sonny does not want to think about the past. And because the current, because right now they have enough trouble. He ain't trying to think about the troubles of the past. And who knocks on the door but my beautiful Miss Selena Wu? And she was clean, honey. She was clean. I love me some Miss Selena Wu. And she was giving face today, baby. She's like, you never write. You never call. She always says that. And then Selena congratulates Sonny for the death of the woman that took his son. And then asked why she had to hear from Curtis Ashford that she might be the target to this sniper shooting. And I'm like, so Curtis disobeyed Portia. Ooh, he didn't disobey Portia. He gonna get in trouble now. So this makes me wonder, is he also gonna then call Jordan and tell Jordan, I'm in. Just don't tell my wife. We shall see. We shall see. And as Ava is walking in, she changes the language from, she was going to say mob or whatever she was going to call them, to independent business people. And Sonny tells her he thought she could handle things. When Sonny tells him she appreciates his confidence, but why should she trust that? Sonny tells her he don't care what she believes. And that's when Selena's like, well, I guess we ain't going to be business partners no more because all this secrecy, it ain't working for me, bro. And why you got her all up here in my business? What is she here for? Why is she here? Oh, I trust her. She knows about the mob life. I don't care. I don't care. She ain't current. I like Selena. She like, you can tell your business around her, but I'm not telling mine. Sonny tells her that he wouldn't suggest them ending their allegiance. And when Ava says, well, okay, well, I'm about to head out, he says, no, I might need your input on this. And Selena's looking at her like, what? When Selena still ain't comfortable with Ava, Sonny brings up Ava's old mob days and tells Selena that she might even be able to offer some insight to Selena. And I was like, now don't you go insulting Selena Wu, Sonny. Do not go insulting Selena Wu. And Selena looked at her and she was like, unlikely. Me and Selena said at the same time, unlikely. I mean, I love me some Ava, but they didn't neuter my good girl, honey. She don't got no wings. She's ducking and dodging. She ain't got no gun no more. She ain't packing like she used to. She got the gun locked up in the safety trope. Anywho, Sonny and it says, why should I play nice? And Sonny tells her she never threatened him or his business, and that he was going to tell her, but he had other factors. When Selena presses for the reason why, he makes her pinky promise that she won't tell anybody. Yes, guys, I said pinky promise, okay? And Selena said, you have my solemn vow. And Sonny tells her about the snitch, the rat in his organization. And Selena tells, oh, well, you know what? I have the same problem in mine. And when he wants to ask more questions, she looks at Ava like, like I said, you can trust her, but I don't have to. And Sonny's like, you can trust her. Sonny's like, it's heartwarming that one of us does. It's heartwarming that one of us does, but I don't. So when Ava leaves, Selena tells Sonny about the attack on her and her men, and that she's pissed that she left herself in a vulnerable position. And Sonny agrees to that he, like, yeah, I that's exactly how I was feeling. And she tells him about her rat, a trusted guard. And of course, Sonny wants to talk to the guy. And Selena's game for her, but she wants something in return. She wants to resume her poker games. There's a demand for the games returning, and it was very lucrative. Sonny wants free reign on the guy that's the snitch, and she's like, only free reign? So I guess Sonny's talking about, meat hooking him. But I'm thinking to myself, guys, and this is just me. Selena let Sonny use one of her torturers to torture Dex. Remember the guy that was going to come, had all the knives and was going to cut up Dex? That was Selena's guy. Why would Selena need Sonny to get information from somebody that was doing something on her? Wouldn't she be able to get that with the guy with the knives? I mean, he looked pretty convincing. I think he had drugs too. I'm like, here they go, trying to change the story, trying to make Miss Selena Wu weak. Because not too long ago, Sonny had to ask her, could he have one of her people help so he can interrogate Dex? Now, what you gonna beat him up? Beat him till he just can't help but to confess? I was like, this is so stupid. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that, but I was like, that's so stupid. And of course, Ava's listening the whole entire time. So we're gonna go, let me see, where were we at? Oh, we're gonna, I just wanted to flash real quick on these two stories. So we got Sasha and Maxie. And Maxie's telling Sasha that she's back in the green. And she's discussing Spinelli possibly moving out. And Maxie's getting used to him being there because she's sharing stories with him about her day, and he's sharing stories about his day, and he just puts things into perspective. And Sasha's like, what's going on here? What is going on here? And when Sasha brings up about him staying longer, Maxie's like, no, I wouldn't ask him. I can't ask him to sacrifice his life for me anymore. And that's when Cody calls Sasha and tells her to get Maxie down to Charlie's pub because they going to get a connection going on. We shall see. And then I want to wrap around back to the Lucy thing. I know I talked about in the highlights, but when her talking to Felicia, she somewhat didn't know full information. I honestly would have played her to the left. I would not have let Lucy in on that plan. This plan now is even more destined to fail before even more than I thought it was before. Lucy is going to mess everything up. But if that gets Maxie out of deception and running as the publisher of Crimson Magazine, I'm for it. Anywho, guys, I think that is it. If I left out anything, I apologize. But you guys have a wonderful night and an even better day tomorrow, and sleep well. I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.